So when you first start using Linux, it can be a little tricky figuring out what to install first. Here's my list of 5 absolutely essential Linux applications. I use these almost every day and I really couldn't do without them. Hopefully this list will help you figure out what you need in your Linux environment. Number 1, the VLC Media Player. This is just a media player that can play any format you throw at it. This is available on Windows and Apple and Android and Linux. It's on everything, and I've never found a media file that it couldn't play that anything else could play. So this is my go-to for any music, any movies. This is basically my starting point. It's a very simple interface. Get yourself a media player, get yourself VLC. You won't regret that. It's very popular for a reason. Number 2, Notepadaq. Now, there are a plethora of text editors available for Linux, and everyone has an opinion on what works best for them. Notepadaq works best for me. It is basically a clone of Notepad++ that's available on Windows. Notepad++ is a great application. And Notepadaq does everything it does in a very similar way. It's got a number of different color schemes you can use, and it has support for the keywords of many different computer languages. Automatically colorizes your code in different ways if you're a code writer, and it will auto-save as you're going, so if you close it and forgot to save, open it back up, you don't lose your work. It is just a lightweight, simple to use text file editor that I highly recommend. It's available as a snap, and that's the way they recommend installing it. So yeah, Notepadaq is my text editor of choice. Number 3, Stacer. Now this is a very, very handy. It is basically like Windows Task Manager on speed. It gives you a quick overview of how your CPU is looking. It has a very nice system cleaner to get rid of temporary files very easily. It has a file finder that works very, very well. It has a services tab that works very well to let you know what's running and what you have the option to turn on. It has a processes tab that shows you all the processes you have running and gives you the opportunity to kill one if it's stuck. It has a list of all your packages that are installed, including snap packages. You can uninstall anything from here. It has a history of your resource usage. Show how your CPU is behaving. Show what's taking up all your memory in your file system. And then it has some app-specific settings that you can turn on and off. As far as basic system administration, this is the best thing I've found in Linux. It is a lifesaver, and it is super, super useful. So I highly, highly recommend Stacer. Number 4, Inkscape. This is another one that's available on all the different platforms. It is a free vector graphics program. It is just very great for creating graphics. So you can create, you can resize, you can piece them all together, you can run filters on them. This is the program I use for my thumbnails. This is just a very, very powerful graphics program. Run this alongside GIMP, and there's not much you can't do with images. It's really, really impressive and free. So there's no reason not to use Inkscape. There are plenty of tutorials available online to help you get the most out of it. So if you have any use for a vector graphics program whatsoever, I highly, highly recommend Inkscape. Whatever operating system you're running, it is a good one. And last but not least for me is Kdenlive. This is my video editor. You can see in the past video I installed DaVinci Resolve, and it is by far the most powerful video editor. But for the stuff that I do, I want something lightweight and I need it to handle codecs that right now DaVinci Resolve does not handle in its Linux version. Namely, MP4 files that are encoded with the H.264 codec. Kdenlive has handled everything that I've thrown at it. It is very lightweight, it's very easy to use, but it also has all sorts of effects that you can put on top of your video. It is very easy to use, it's pretty self-explanatory. There are tutorials online that can show you how to do a little bit more, but it is just a simple video editor that has not given me any trouble. It will crash occasionally, but it does a good job of auto-saving, so I haven't ever lost anything when it's crashed. It reads all the files that I throw at it, and it renders reasonably well. And yeah, any of my videos that you've seen online have been put together with Kdenlive. It has a title editor and everything. It's just free. Also available on other operating systems, but really surprisingly powerful video editor for a free program. Highly recommend that. Eventually I'm going to step up to DaVinci Resolve, but I really need them to get the codec issue worked out in order for me to work with it within Linux. So for now, Kdenlive is really awesome. Just to review real quick, VLC for playing media files, Notepadaq for editing text files, Stacer for basic system administration, Inkscape for managing graphics, and Kdenlive for editing video. Those are 5 applications that I could not do without in Linux. So I hope that's been informative. Thank you so much for viewing, and please like and subscribe if you see fit. Thank you.